Because you asked, I am going to do a tutorial today on big wavy curls and getting lots of volume without using tons and tons of product. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Michelle Spieler, Clean Beauty Babe, where today we're not going to talk about clean beauty at all, but we are going to talk about how I've been doing my hair recently because I've had so many requests. Not only from Pinterest, but also from TikTok, Instagram, my blog. Yeah. And I did a video called Messy Beach Waves Made Easy, and it's done really well. And a lot of you have reached back to me and said, wow, you changed my hair. Like, they love it. So I'm going to do a tutorial for women who just want maybe a softer, not as messy look. But also I'm real excited to talk to you today about the Rootie by Voloom because the company just sent me this last week. I've wanted this for a couple years, maybe a year and a half. I didn't invest in it because I already had a mini crimper from another really well-known hairstylist. But the mini crimper just took way too much time and I didn't love it, so I stopped using it. I put it in my pro kit and I never use it in my pro kit. So I'm real excited about this to help women get more volume at the root without a bunch of back combing, without a bunch of product. Okay, so I thought, perfect, let's do a hair tutorial and the Rootie all at once. It's not even a Rootie review because I already love it. You can go to my Instagram and see the night, well, not night and day, but it's a significant difference in how my hair looks, just flat, just, you know, I sleep with it up. I have a TikTok coming too on how I do that every single night, how I sleep with it up. So you'll have to go to TikTok or Instagram to see that. But I love the Rootie. I demonstrated it in a couple TikToks this week. But I for people who just want a little bit more in depth, I'm going to talk about this today. Okay, it's not even plugged in yet, but I love that it can lock. Look at that. It can lock. It's got this little lock and boom. Isn't that great? So anyway, here's what you're gonna need. You will want to have a rat tail comb, a nice shark clip, which by the way, Rootie does give you 3 mini shark clips. I love them, but I just grabbed this today because it's already in my pro kit. I didn't want to use my personal iron because my personal iron is old and it's all discolored and it's just unsightly. I use it in my bathroom only, so I grabbed this from my pro kit. It is a Hot Tools 1 1/4. Okay, to me 1 1/4 makes that beautiful kind of Victoria's Secret hair, or just that kind of beautiful soft bed head. Like maybe it was curled a couple days ago, but you've slept on it a few nights and it's just a really soft, relaxed curl. I absolutely love a little texturizing spray. What I like about this is you can comb it out at night or brush it out at night. The next morning, you just feel like you have clean hair. And then because I have not found a lot of great clean hair products, but Kerotin sent me some products in December and this hairspray is great. If this wasn't clean, I would still love this hairspray. This is their shapeshifter. It has Pro B vitamins in it. It has flexible hold. It's, I would say like a really good solid medium hold. It's not super strong hold. Paraben free, and it also has UV protection. Hello, this is awesome. It's a fine mist. It doesn't have like a heavy fragrance. It's all natural ingredients, but it's a great hairspray. So thank you, Kerotin, and I'll put them in comments too if you want to check them out. Their website is amazing, especially for middle-aged hair. Okay, I always part my hair into 6 sections, but because I'm a lazy girl, I'm just going to do 1 section at a time. And I'm going to do this section first, and then I'll cut away, and I will do this section in the back section, but I'll speed it up because nobody needs to sit and watch the whole thing. It's redundant. And then we'll cut to my Voloom Rootie so you can see how I use that. I'm going out to dinner tonight, so it's the perfect time for a tutorial. Just so you know, a little background on me, I'm a professional makeup artist. I worked in Hollywood for 10 years, almost a little shy of 10 years. I did hair for commercial and print, but in Hollywood, you either do hair or makeup. You don't do both. So I chose makeup because I was not a licensed hair person. I did not go to hair school. I am self-taught and I am well, I don't want to say self-taught, but I learned through some of the best hair stylists in the movie and commercial industry, movie, TV, commercial. So I've learned a lot. And a lot of it's just experience, a lot of it's trial and error. I still do hair and makeup here. Now that I relocated to North Carolina, we do have some TV and film here. We have a lot of commercial, a lot of print, a lot of corporate videos. So I'm doing hair all the time professionally, but I do lifestyle hair. I wouldn't do like a Bridgerton hairstyle on you or a Downton Abbey hairstyle on you. I don't do updos for brides. I do lifestyle hair. So that's why I feel equipped to teach you hair, but I am never going to be as good as your hairstylist. But maybe that's why some people like learning hair from me, because I just teach you like a regular gal. I'm not real technical. So what I like to do is think of your head in 3 sections. You have one side, the other side, and the back side. And then we're gonna do 2 sections on each side, okay? Now, a lot of hairstylists will do the nape of the neck. I just skip all that. I just include it in the lower half. So I take about this much hair, you know, I try to part it evenly, and I clip it up, and I will start curling. And move the back hair in the back, or maybe off to the side, and we'll just start curling. Also, you might want to use a heat protectant spray. Mine are gunked up right now, and I don't have time to unclog them before doing this video, so I'm not using heat protectant spray. Also, sometimes I don't like how a heat protectant spray will feel in my hair. I like my hair to feel like it was just washed every single day. That's why I like products like this that brush out, and the next day you still feel like you have clean hair. So if you are concerned about hot tools, use a heat protectant spray. I've always used the one by Redken in my professional kit, or Kenra, and I've used those on myself. Okay, and especially with the Rootie, if you're concerned, I had a follower on TikTok say, would this be bad for all the new baby hairs growing in? Well, first of all, you wouldn't really use these on the baby hairs. I think the hair growing in at our roots, some of the healthiest hair on our head. But if you're concerned, use a heat spray, brush through it, then use the Rootie, okay? So heat protectant sprays if you are concerned about dry, brittle hair. I'm not. My hair is, and look at that. It's in really great condition. I have a lot of sheen. I have a lot of strength. My ends can be dry, but I put an oil on them every night. And I don't style my hair every day. That's why I like to lock in my style on the first day. Okay, so I took about this much. You can take more, you can take less. It's really up to you. The first thing I do is I do one curl, I do one wrap, and I kind of pull it forward. So it's not way back here, it's kind of forward. And I kind of let that hold, because that's gonna give us some nice body. Might even wrap 1.5 times. And then see how I came out? It's kind of twisted. And then I'll kind of like lightly drag it through the hair. So see, I don't have like a total curly curl at the end. I don't want a curly curl at the end, okay? You can do it however you want. If you like the curly curl at the end, do the curly curl at the end. If you like it to be a little bit straighter, then you can do this technique. So watch this again. I'm gonna take it, I pull it forward, careful not to burn your ear, and I do one full wrap, okay? And it's not back here, it's not to the side, I bring it kind of forward. And then I might do another half of a wrap. And then I'm going to kind of twist it a couple times if you have longer hair. If you don't have long hair, you don't have to do that twisty part. And then I'm going to kind of like feed it through the curling iron a little diagonally, okay? And if you feel like it's too much curl, just pull the end while it's warm, and it'll stretch it out. But notice how I'm not touching the curls, because you want them to set. As they cool off, they set. If you're messing with them or brushing them or touching them when they're warm, they're not going to hold their curl. If you have super fine hair, I should have mentioned this. If you have super fine hair, or you have really thin hair that does not hold a curl, you're gonna want a 1 inch, okay? The 1 1/4 is for women who have maybe hair like me, fine, but a lot of it. I have fine hair, but have a lot of it. Or coarse hair, or, you know, just thicker, heavier hair. You're gonna use a 1 1/4 for this look. You could even use 1 1/2 if you want even less curl, more wave. 1 1/2 will look like you just had a professional blowout, but it won't look like you used a curling iron. I like to have a little bit more curl than the 1 1/2, so that's why I like the 1 1/4. But if you are the type of person you cannot hold a curl, you need the 1 inch, okay? Or if your hair's shorter, you probably wouldn't use the 1 1/4 if you had hair that was like shoulder skimming. It wouldn't give you this nice curl. You might want 1 inch, okay? These hot tool irons are, I get them at Ulta, and I can go about 8 to 10 years with an iron. They're great. They're worth the money. And when they go on sale, they are a great price. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of turn it. See how I kind of twisted it a little bit? And then I kind of like diagonally drag it through the iron, okay? So it's just to give us a little bit of body, okay? And then I go to the top section and I leave the bangs out. Do not include the bangs in this top piece. We will get to the bangs in a minute. Hold on. I need my mirror. I just do. It's so hard to look at the phone as your mirror. It's much easier to look at this. Okay. So still have a good nice section here. I'm leaving my bangs out. I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok or Instagram, but I cut curtain bangs with a feather razor, and I love them. I love them. Okay, so my front piece I take is a little bit thinner. Again, I'm gonna come forward. See that? Coming forward. Hold it for a second, do like that 1 1/2 twist, and then see how I'm dragging it through the iron kind of at a diagonal. So you're getting kind of that long, elongated curl, not like a Cupid curl. We don't want the Cupid curl for this look. See all those layers right there? Look, I did that with my feather razor. Pretty proud of myself. Okay. Again, taking it forward. You could even do this along with me, couldn't you? We could do it in the same time, in real time. Okay, and then dragging it through diagonally. Love it. And then this final piece, and then we'll go to the rest of the hair. Remember, bringing it forward. I wrap it pretty close. Do you see how it's pretty close to the scalp, but I'm bringing it forward. Gives it a little more body that way. Body, yada, 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 yada. About another half of a turn. And then kind of twist it through. And you can see my thumbs right here, it's opening it just slightly as I drag it through, okay? Now we're gonna let all of that sit. We're not gonna touch it, and I'm not gonna touch my bangs. I'm gonna do my bangs in the end. Okay, now I'm gonna do the rest of my head, but speed it up so you're not bored watching it, and then I'll come. And just so you know, with my messy beach waves, I would curl away, and then the next strand I would curl towards the face, and then I would curl away, and I would curl towards the face. But with this particular look, I just curl all going back, going back, going back, this side going back, going back, going back, and then in the back also going back so that it kind of meets in the middle, okay? Now we're gonna take our bangs, our fringe, our longer front pieces if you have them, and watch what you do here. Same thing we did in my messy curl, my messy beach waves video. You're gonna bring it forward, okay? See how shiny that is? I have nothing on that to make that shiny. My hair is in really great condition because I've used really good products on it. And I'm gonna come here and curl kind of at a diagonal forward and away from the face. And I'm not holding it, I'm just like slowly letting it come out. So see how it goes forward, but at a diagonal I go away from the face. And I'm not gonna touch that. I'm gonna let that just kind of sit just like that because I need it to hold. And then I'm gonna get this side. Okay. See, I'll see the sheen I have. And look, I've got blonde. I use bleach. I use toner, but I have a nice sheen because I use really good products for my hair. Okay, and we're coming forward, but at a diagonal, and I'm feeding it through. I'm not holding it. I'm not gonna touch it. This side always curls this way and this side curls up. It's just weird the way my hair curls differently on both sides, but I don't mind that. I kind of like the little bit of asymmetry. I don't want to be super matchy-matchy. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Let me plug my Rootie in though, so this is getting hot and ready to go. Next up is, this is where we are going to start shaking out the curls with our fingers. This is how you turn it on. You hold the power button and then the little temperature goes on. And I like it set at 350. I think 350 is good for fine hair. If you have thick, coarse hair, you could probably go up to 400, but I keep mine at 350. And look, it shows that the temperature is climbing. This is so well designed. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit there. And now what I do, I use my fingers to kind of comb out my hair. And I'm not touching my front pieces too much because they're still kind of warm and setting. So I'm kind of just using my fingers to shake all the curls out instead of using a hair. You could use a hairbrush if you wanted that whole like 1970s Miss Breck shampoo where it's all completely blended and brushed. That's beautiful. You could totally do that. You would just brush it out once it's set. But I do this. Okay? And if you like the shape, you can start playing with the bangs a little bit or the fringe or your side pieces. This is when I go in with the texturizing spray. And I just kind of like hold it up and mist it all over. It's just gonna add a little bit of texture to that hair, but it's not really a hairspray. We don't want a hairspray yet because we're gonna do that Rootie. Okay, so here's how it looks all over. Now it's big at first. Don't be afraid if your hair is big at first. It's gonna fall, it's gonna settle. Anytime I do someone's hair and they're like, I'm like, it's gonna fall, it's gonna settle. You have to give it a hot minute, okay? So we are not gonna touch it. We're not gonna hairspray it till the end. And now we are going to do our volume. Now, I do have a tiny, because the volume doesn't go in this region, the volume starts more down here. You don't want the volume here because you will see it. You don't want to see the textured plates. Okay, it's meant to hide under your hair. So what I do is right here in this little stripe where my roots are dark, and yes, I'm doing my roots this weekend, but this little strip here, I will put in some Redken Power Grip hair powder. You shake it in a little bottle and you do this, and it gives you that tiny bit of lift right at the root. See, so I have a little bit of lift here at the root without feeling like a lot of product and without putting anything drying in your hair. Hair powder is great for those of you gals who work out. Instead of dry shampoo, I'm not a fan of dry shampoo anymore. Hair powders work much better. They absorb the sweat even days later, so I love putting that little bit of hair powder right there. Okay, so now it is time for the Rootie, I think. Let's see, yeah. All right, I'm gonna unplug the curling iron. And you know what? I don't even have my light on. I've shot this whole video without my light on. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I like that better. Okay, so I'm gonna unlock it. It unlocks there and it opens up, which I think is brilliant. I have to use my mirror. Okay, so we don't want to see a lot of texture here. So we're gonna pick up, and we're not gonna pick up the bangs. We're gonna pick up this little top section, see? So that little top section is not gonna get any of the Rootie because you don't wanna see it. And then we're gonna take a little thin strip, not too thick, because you want these texturizing plates to really make a nice dent, okay? And then watch this. It's now at 350 degrees. Watch this, I'm gonna hold it. I count to like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I move it over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. See how it puts a funky little texture in there? And you're not gonna touch it because once it cools, it's gonna set, right? But I am going to take that little section I just did, and I'm going to flip it over here and let it cool, and I'm gonna do one more layer. Take the Rootie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like this Rootie because they have thicker, wider models, but I just wanted at the roots. So I wanted something narrow that was easy to get really close to my scalp. My mini crimper that I had from another company, if you got it too close to your scalp, it actually burned. This is not the case with the Rootie. I know they've designed it so the plates are coming in a little bit, so even if it's resting right on your head, it doesn't burn you. So that was a really smart design on Voloom's part, okay? So if you want, you can even take a little bit of texturizing spray, go into that, take down your next layer you did. If you want, you don't have to do this part. Go in with a little bit of texturizing spray. And now your top piece goes over it. I mean, look at that volume. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous volume. And I sleep with my hair up, so I wake up in the morning, I still have pretty great volume. Okay, so let's do this side just so you can see. I do the back too, but that's kind of boring. You probably don't really want to see that, or maybe I could speed that part up. Okay, so I take about this much and come on over. Now, let me say this. I have fine hair, but I have a lot of it. So the Voloom texture hides very well under my top pieces that I chose not to Voloom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Love it. If you have really thin, really fine hair, you won't know until you try it, okay? And I still think it's worth a try. I've had a couple women say, oh, my hair's too thin and it showed all the texture and it doesn't work for me. well, you have to wonder, did they use it right? Maybe they did. Maybe they just cannot hide the texture because they have too few hair. Maybe their hair is thinning. Maybe it's just way too fine and the texture is just too noticeable. I don't know. It's not noticeable on me at all. Then someone said, what if the wind blows your hair and you can see all the texture? I mean, I've had a couple windy days this week. I have pretty messy hair. I don't see the texture. I don't see it. If my hair kind of moves or parts, I don't really see it. I don't think anyone else would. I don't think anyone's looking for it. It could just look like, you know, maybe you slept on your hair a little bit crooked underneath. I don't know. It to me, I don't notice it. And that's really one of those things that it's trial and error and you won't know till you try it. Okay, now this is my smooth top piece that is going to cover the Voloom. I mean, look at that. This is like Victoria's Secret hair, okay? I'll do a little bit back here. I'll just do one just to show you guys. So I take this much. You see that? I'm not going to do that part. We want to hide it. I don't have a mirror, so I'm just trusting that I'm picking up the right piece. Okay. So this big volume that I have right now, this is still gonna fall a little bit, but what I like about the texture, now that you've put texture in your hair, anytime you feel like, oh, maybe my hair's going a little flat, you can stick your fingers in there, kind of do this, and it kind of like messes with that texture and kind of bulks it up again. So you can play with it all day. You can play with it all day without actually putting more product in your hair. And you can really get in there and there's really no product in there. So you can really get in there and it feels like soft, silky, virgin hair. And yet you've got this great texture that you can kind of replump all day with your fingers if you want. Okay, so this at this stage, this is where I would lock it into place. This Kerotin is a super fine mist. And I don't do a lot of I don't do a lot of hairspray. Maybe I should. I'm always shocked at how much hairspray hairstylists use. And they're like, yeah, it's how you hold your style. My hair is always kind of messy. I like messy hair. It's just the way I was raised. I like really big, messy hair like Bridget Bardot and Goldie Hawn. So that's just the look I like. You might not like messy hair, and that's totally fine. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Just, it's a look. It's a look that I've done my entire life, ever since the 80s. But I don't put too much hairspray. You know, maybe before I go to dinner tonight, maybe I'll do a little bit more, you know, about around the bangs. But I mean, look at this. I love it. I love it. And it's going to look even better tomorrow because this curl that's here, this curl that you see that's here, that's going to flatten even more and look more like a wave as opposed to a curling iron. So I like it even better the second day. Sometimes I'll even do, sometimes I'll wash and dry my hair and then I'll do this and not put any product in it and then twist it on my hair and go to bed. And the next morning it's like, oh, it's perfect. You know, then I'll put product in it. Then I'll put a little bit of texturizing spray and then I'll put a little bit of hairspray in it the second day. And you can see that video of how I do my hair, a nighttime hair routine before bed every night. Okay, I hope that helps. Again, that is the Voloom Rootie. I love the Rootie. That is the Hot Tools, or any hair iron would work. It doesn't matter the brand, but this hair tools impresses me. They're they last for me about 8 to 10 years. And I think that's a pretty great investment for 40, 50 bucks. So this is the 1 1/4 that I use on my hair most days. But if I want it to be tighter or more like a beach wave, I'll do the 1 inch, and I'll change directions. But that's another video. This is for bigger, more voluminous waves. And then if you want it less curled than this, you want it to look more like you just had a great blowout, get the 1 1/2. The 1 1/2 will not, it'll give you body and movement without this, but like I said, this will last me up to 4 days, and I barely have to recurl it. Like I might go in and recurl the bangs, I might curl a couple front pieces, but pretty much I don't have to touch my hair for the next 4 days, and I love that because I am all about no nonsense, okay? So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I will put everything I used in the notes under the title. You can click on the title and notes drop down, and you can read what this video is about and products I used. And I hope that helps. Thanks, everyone.